Your TV6 Morning News begins with First Alert Weather.
Good Wednesday morning to you, and thanks for waking up with us and starting off your day. Today is a TV6 First Alert Weather Day, and this affects the entire Upper Peninsula. So wherever you're waking up and watching us from this morning, please pay attention because we do have some hazards that we're keeping an eye out for today.
And we'll turn now to TV6 First Alert Weather with meteorologist Cameron Chin. Cameron, you're warning us of flash flood risks today.
Yes, Tia, it is looking to be a heavy day for rain. That's why we have this First Alert Weather Day, because of the severe storms set to potentially move in over the course of this afternoon and into this evening. We still even have some rain developing in the western counties, but it affects the entire Upper Peninsula. The First Alert Weather Day officially goes into effect at 2 p.m. Eastern time in the region. So when it comes to that, we're expecting localized flash flooding in some areas. When it comes to the Storm Prediction Center outlook, we're seeing a slight risk for most of the Upper Peninsula, those in the northern counties being spared from that, but that doesn't rule out rain in those areas. Hazards trending towards the heavier side for rainfall in some areas. Hail possible around an inch in some areas, and winds could be around 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. That's all because of this low pressure setup. It's moving its way in. This cold front is going to kickstart all of the storms expected for the afternoon in some areas. A closer look what we've seen over the last few hours. It's been quiet, but now in Ontonagon County, we're seeing these little cells kind of flare up just outside of M64 in Ontonagon. This is going to push east into the region, and we're expecting even more as we get into the afternoon. Over the next few hours, expect this rain to remain in the northern counties, and we'll see more rain in the afternoon. I'll show what this looks like here in a few minutes. Back to you, 3.
Thanks a lot, Cameron. We'll check back in with you soon for an update. The forecast from your TV6 First Alert Weather Center is available whenever you need it. You can find our TV6 First Alert Weather 24/7 stream in a few different places. Go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app and click on TV6 Live, or find our weather stream on TV6 Plus.
We begin this morning with continuing coverage out of Washington. President Donald Trump is still trying to distance himself from the uproar over the Jeffrey Epstein case.
This as his Justice Department seeks an interview with Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest on the situation.
President Trump meeting overnight with Republican members of Congress, announcing a long-awaited trade deal with Japan that sets 15% tariffs on Japanese imports.
We worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody.
And thanking GOP lawmakers for their support.
You're really allies, that's what you've been.
Just as the House is shutting down early for its summer break, delaying votes demanded by Democrats and some Republicans, calling for the release of the full files on sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
We are not going to let them use this as a political battering ram.
Members of President Trump's MAGA base have been leading the calls for transparency, and now the Deputy Attorney General says he plans to meet with convicted Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, posting that, quote, President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. The president backing the move.
I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do.
While trying to step back from the controversy.
It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt.
The House Oversight Committee also voting to subpoena Maxwell's testimony, as Republican Thomas Massie suggested that not releasing the Epstein files could weaken the president's support.
He's eroding his base. More importantly, if we don't take the right side of this issue, it's going to cost us votes in the midterms.
Members of both parties insisting the issue is not going away. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening now, it's been 2 months since a lightning sparked a fire inside the Boniface Arts Center in Escanaba. It's brought scheduled shows inside the theater to a halt, but the community together.
That's right, John. And now a sign of progress. The center's first art exhibit since the fire is on display for you to check out. The Boniface Membership Show opened up on July 11th and it continues until September 4th. For most of this art, it's on sale for you to buy. Now, the work had to be an original and created within the last 2 years. All of this art is from current members of the Boniface Art Center who are at least 16 years old. The center's executive director says one piece will become part of the center's permanent collection.
It might not be the most fun event that happened, but it is a part of our history. Not to say it gives you closure, but I think it does kind of wrap up a moment in time. It'll be a nice memory of how people came out to support us.
Hart says it could take another 6 to 9 months to reopen up the theater, and you can make a donation to help out by going to the link on this story on UpperMichiganSource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app.
Michigan ranks 47th in the nation for inpatient psychiatric bed availability. Some hospitals here in northern Michigan are trying to solve that problem. Yesterday, legislators in the Michigan House Subcommittee on Public Health and Security heard testimony on the issue. Right now, only 2 hospitals in the UP have inpatient psychiatric beds. Those are UP Health System Marquette and My Medical Center Sioux. One testimony said there's a shortage in lower Michigan too.
The average emergency department stay for these individuals was about 4 days while the hospital searched for an open bed downstate. Munson has a 17-bed adult unit, but it's been full, and it's quite often full.
Legislators said they would review yesterday's testimonies before taking action. No timeline for any action was given.
Today, the Michigan State Police encourages you to take part in its first ever community blood drive. The drive takes place at the UP Regional Blood Center, which is inside the old Office Max building at 1400 West Washington Street in Marquette. All UP first responders, including police, fire, EMS, hospital staff, are invited to donate, as well as military personnel, corrections, and retirees. The MSP says this is their way of giving back.
So it was important for me to find something that would include all of the UP and be beneficial for both the UP and the Lower Peninsula. A great thing about the UP Regional Blood Donation Center is when you donate, the blood stays in the UP.
There will be food at the drive, including rolls from Texas Roadhouse. The MSP says when you donate a pint of blood, that's enough to help save the lives of 3 people. You can make your donation between the hours of 8 in the morning until 6 o'clock tonight. Also today, Feeding America West Michigan and its mobile food pantry are back in Marquette County. The pantry is at Building 604 on the corner of Avenue C and 3rd Street in K.I. Sawyer. Volunteers will start to give food out at noon Eastern Time. This is a drive-through event, so stay in your car.
UP and Wisconsin Scouts are learning valuable lessons and skills through a week-long camp in Alger County. About 100 Scouts come to Camp Hiawatha in Munising each week. But one Scout, Jed Johnson, made the trek up from Pittsburgh this summer. Johnson has stayed loyal to Camp Hiawatha even after his mom's job in the Coast Guard moved him out of the state of Michigan. He says Camp Hiawatha has taught him lots of practical skills like swimming and knot tying, but that the camp is more than just these skills.
I just don't think I'd be the same person. I have learned so many things that I can use in the future and apply for other people and my life to become a better person and help other people become better.
Johnson shows that Camp Hiawatha embodies all Scouting America stands for. Turning now to First Alert meteorologist Cameron Chin, because Cameron, waking up on this Wednesday morning, it is a First Alert weather day. When does this start to kick in here in the UP?
Well, for most of the Upper Peninsula, it's set to really kick off in the afternoon, right around 2 p.m. Just to reiterate to people, this is going to be for the entire Upper Peninsula. The hazards leaning towards severe thunderstorms and even flash flood risks because of the heavy rainfall. The timeline is there's going to be multiple rounds throughout the day. We're seeing the first round move its way into the western counties at this very moment. While it's not going to be as heavy as the ones in the afternoon, it's enough to hamper your morning commute. Right now in Ontonagon County, it's seeing that rain develop. It's mostly going to be scattered, but still visibility could be poor at times with roads being wet. In the afternoon, that trend continues with even heavier rain in some areas. The heaviest rain around 5-6 p.m. will be those in the western counties, so be sure to slow down. Give yourself enough time when you're heading home, because taking a look at what we can see throughout this morning, we'll see the rain in the western counties. That trend continues right at the start of the afternoon. This heavier band of rain makes its way into Marquette County right around 2 p.m. And when it comes to this block of rain, this is going to be the heaviest batch, set to move in about 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll show just how much rain we could see from this setup here in about 8 minutes. Back to you 3.
All right, we'll check back in soon for that. Thank you so much, Cameron. And with those hazards that come with the storms, all that rain does mean that flowers are flourishing here in the UP, especially Alger County.
Stick around to find out how you can take home your favorite picks from Rock River Farms. That's after the break.